much of an integration of something do you have to have into your practice to actually make it meaningful? Here's what I mean. If you're trying to be inclusive with your holiday decorations, what is the ratio of one holiday to the other that is best? How much of it do you have to integrate? What percentage of your decorations need to be for each holiday before it's more than just lip service and it's actually inclusion? Hello there, I'm Chuck. I'm an educator, and I have a new job this year and a new commute and a new podcast, which is this. You're riding along shotgun on today's Drive Time Diary. We post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Call myself, it's just me. I post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on topics related to education and my faith and my family and pop culture and politics and just how all those mush together, because I like to be a whole integrated individual. And so one thing I'm striving for is the same Mr. C. Baker for math you get in math class is as close as possible to the same one that you get out in the community. And so wondering about these holiday decorations and inclusion. Inclusion is really important to me, but I think some people are just doing it to check a box. Here's what I mean. There's an educator I follow on Instagram that put up a reel last week of her decorating her classroom. And she pulls this giant Tupperware tub, Rubbermaid tub out of a cabinet, and there's different clips of her putting out the candy canes and the red and green garland and the stockings and the Christmas tree in the corner and a couple other things, and they're all very Christmas colored things. Now they're not Christian Christmas, they are secular Christmas, quote unquote. I don't think I saw anything that was like baby Jesus, nativity, religious celebration of Christmas in those. But it was still Christmas. Like, the vast majority of the room was Christmas. Whichever part of that, secular or Christian, like, to what degree you believe that Christmas is a secular holiday or whatever. It was all Christmassy things. And then in the corner, she puts this Christmas tree, and at the base of the Christmas tree, she puts 3 different things that are at best shoebox sized. One of them for Hanukkah, one of them for, pretty sure, Kwanzaa, and then the other one I couldn't really tell. Maybe it was Diwali, isn't that the Festival of Light? And then she put something at the end, gotta be inclusive. Like, I didn't have a conversation with this individual about where inclusivity is in her heart, but Christmas all around the room, and then 3 extra little things at the bottom of a Christmas tree, like, says to me that the focus in this room is Christmas, and oh yeah, I want to feel good about being an inclusive person, so let me put these things at the bottom also. I don't think that's inclusivity. I think if you, so this person's a 6th grade teacher, so I think that her students would be old enough that they could create their own decorations for the classroom. They could do that themselves. Like, this happens in elementary often, in classrooms where the kids make the space. The kids' work makes the decorations. Like, I think she definitely could have had 6th graders that made Hanukkah decorations in the room, 6th graders that made Kwanzaa decorations, and then also some Christmas decorations also. And so there was a way where she very much could have made that inclusive, where the kids were behind telling their holiday stories, and the kids were behind the decorations in the room, and that would have been a truer model of inclusion, rather than just, here's the thing I bought to stick on the counter underneath this Christmas tree in the room that is obviously Christmas decorated. And there's other ways that we do that also. Just off the top of my head, because that's kind of the way this podcast works. Typically, haven't done any real preparation for it. But other ways where we have diversity or inclusivity as lip service into our society. Sometimes I know that professional sports leagues have diversity hiring policies in their, I don't know if it's bylaws, but in their governing documents. And the intention of that is to increase the diversity of front office staff on those professional sports organizations, front office staff, coaches, coaching staff, trainers, all throughout the organization. You're getting more than just African Americans as the athletes. You're getting them all throughout, and I think that's incredibly important. It's weird and obviously racist when the majority of a sport, the athletes, the ones that are the product, would be African American, and most of the front office and ownership and general manager and all those things wouldn't also be African American. Like, I don't know why that wouldn't make sense. And so in some cases, we need those policies as an anti-racist mechanism, as a way to ensure that opportunities are being made. But I don't know. I don't have the answer to this, but I think some people say, "Hey, we hired the African American, or we interviewed the African American candidates. Ding, I'm diverse," and they're doing it, only because they don't want to get fined or sued or anything like that. I don't know what the path is through that, but it's lip service, inclusivity, diversity, not like really being committed to it. I think you can tell the organizations that are really committed to it. Those are the organizations that actually have those diverse hires within their organization. Like, it actually happens. They don't just interview them, they're hiring them. I think this happens in universities also. There's the affirmative action version of getting racially diverse student bodies, ethnically diverse student bodies, ability diverse student bodies. There's another one I'm thinking of, I can't think of it. Gender diverse student bodies. There's like the Title IX affirmative action version of that, and then there's actually being committed to that. Actually being committed to empowering women, beyond just checking the box that you have the Title IX coordinator person. Actually taking steps to attract and support ethnically and racially diverse student bodies, so that they can have success and they can look like a Mizzou student, to use my alma mater, or a Maryville University student, to use another school I went to, or a UMSL student, or a Lindenwood student, to use other schools here in town. How we do those things are really important, and I don't want to say that if people aren't going to do them for real, we should just take them off, because in a lot of ways things become normal and things become important finally to people because the law tells them they have to. And sometimes organizations only start doing things, at least, out of compliance. That's like the whole point of laws. People start doing them out of compliance. I got into the habit of paying my taxes out of compliance, right? And so I guess I think without that compliance, some organizations wouldn't do those things at all for inclusivity, and there would just be no door open for people in that case, or there would be no representation for people in spaces without people doing lip service inclusivity. But tell me if I'm wrong here. Here's where the interactivity takes place. Send me a message on X at Chuck C. Baker. Send me a message on Instagram at Mr. C. Baker for Math or at Drive Time Diary. Send me a voice message here on Spotify. Here's what I can answer for myself. If you're a person who gets opportunities and doors are opened and spaces look more like you and your identities and your representations that you wear, if you get more of those opportunities, I guess, is it obvious when people or organizations are doing it just because they have to or just to check a box? Is that apparent? And also, does that make a difference? Like, are you glad that people made the effort at all? Or is that a situation where what's even the point? Let's do it for real or not do it at all. That's a genuine question I have about inclusivity and diversity and equity and accessibility. All of the DEIA words, frankly. I was talking about inclusivity just right here, but I think that goes for all of the initiatives in that realm. So that's all my thoughts there. Let me know what you think about inclusive holiday decorations. Let me know what you think about lip service inclusivity or diversity or equity or accessibility. Lip service to all the DEIAs. And just sound off. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for being on this drive. We will see you on the next drive. Thanks for riding shotgun today. Be safe.